All right, welcome back to another exciting episode of Start and Bet 'em Fantasy Football Podcast, where gambling meets fantasy. I'm your host, Brendan Shelly. I'm with my man, Dan Ambrose. Dan, what's going on, dude? How was your weekend?
The weekend was not great. The picks on this show that I had weren't great. Overall, it was fine, I guess. I kind of got bailed out a little bit on college, too. So I was down a little bit, but not terrible. A little disappointed in some of the underdogs, but great week to have be an over better. So the over did well on a lot of games, especially those early sets.
Very true. I followed you on one of them. It was a very good weekend for me. Hopefully you guys followed along as well. We did great. We're going to recap all those bets. A lot of things going on. Some injuries we got to get through first. Terry McLaurin, he's out. He had his little sabbatical, came back to the team. Everybody was happy. Didn't really show up too much. Got hurt. He's back again. He had a couple cool catches, like highlight reel catches. McLaurin, he looked unbelievable, those catches. But now he's out again. So McLaurin's out this week. Major injury to the Giants. They kind of had that whole Giants are kicking ass, and they're actually looking to make trades to get stronger. That might be in bed now, man. Cam Scatterbo, kind of the spark plug of that offense, along with Jackson Dart. He's out. He's going to be gone for the season. So we're down Malik Neighbors, Cam Scatterbo. For some folks, Russell Wilson. No, I'm joking. So in reality, that team is just, I feel for them, especially with that young talent. They got a thing going on there, and then he's destroyed. So Scatterbo's gone for the season. Hopefully he can recover. Is a fun guy to watch and is a fun guy to root for. Bryce Young, he is back this week. The ginger, Andy Dalton, did not look good. He did not look good for those Carolina Panthers. I was quite confident it would be 1-1. It was a little bit of a drop-off with Andy Dalton, in my opinion. What do you think on that one?
I think that's accurate to say that none of the backups played well, in my opinion, that came in.
Flacco played well. He kept them in the game. Didn't make any really dumb throws.
You blew that lead? I don't know. I don't
know. I've been impressed. He's 40 years old, 41 years old, whatever the hell he is. Another new starter, Tyler Shook. He dethroned super impressive Spencer Rattler. I'm shocked that this coaching decision happened. He took him out in third quarter last game and put in Shook. The rest is history. Probably going to be the Shook train from the rest of the season. It's pretty rough. What are they, 1-6? What is their record right now?
Yeah, I think that's right, 1-6.
Yeah, so we'll see.
1-7.
I mean, if the kid can pull off a couple wins and screw up their draft chances, I will love it. So it's going to be entertaining now. I don't have much else to say there. In my opinion, Spencer Rattler far exceeded my expectations in terms of fantasy relevance for his receivers. I thought Tyler Shook in the beginning of the season, I thought he was the better quarterback to kind of sustain those viable fantasy players. We'll see if that comes to fruition. He did not look good early on in the preseason. I'm hoping some of that Louisville magic comes up. He's got a big arm if you give him some time, and he can move okay in the pocket. It's just he is like literally like Samuel Jackson glass. Like that guy has broken every bone in his body like Knievel. It's insane. So I'm curious to see how this turns out. And he's like 26 years old. He's like Brandon Wooden coming out of college at like 30 years old or some shit. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be entertaining to say the least. Let's go over some of these bets we did last weekend, and we can kind of be happy and sad together.
You didn't want to. You didn't want to give your boy a shout out for winning his first game of the year, or what?
No, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. And the team scored over 20 points, by the way, and he won.
Oh, so he got that too. I forgot all about that.
He did. He's gotten two career milestones for Justin Fields,
Jesus.
One of which is a number that Dan was confident he would never get out of. The man was like 0-20 versus teams that have scored 20 points or more on him. That's a real number. Look it up. I don't know if it's 0-20, but it is not a good number.
It was 25.
He's never won a game against a team. Yeah, it was 25 or 26 losses in a row versus a team that scores 20 points. I mean, that's how bad it is. So he was able to win one. The Jets won their first game this season. Justin Fields, against all odds, had really the best game of his career. It's his career day, if you look at this. All week leading up to that was very weird. We didn't get into it on our show, but Woody Johnson basically said, yeah, we'd be able to win a game if our quarterback could complete a pass, and it's not Aaron Glenn's fault. And then when they questioned Aaron Glenn about it, he was like, it might be Tyrod Taylor, it might be Justin Fields. Nobody could get an answer out of him. He was pushing back on the media. All Fields has a career day. It's bye week for them, which means this is a win for the Jets and a win for Justin Fields, because for one more week, people might think he's a starter. We will never know, because Aaron Glenn once again said he's not saying anything.
I just heard you say Woody Johnson got him the win, because apparently he's the one that motivated Fields to do something.
That's all it took. And you know what? Maybe that's why Rodgers beat up on them too. So Woody Johnson, just a motivational speaker. That's what he does. He runs his mouth and gets wins for his team and other teams. We'll see what happens there in New York. Who do you think is it's got to be Fields' next start, in my opinion? You agree?
Yeah, no, I mean, sure, you go with the hot hand, right? Whatever that means, but I don't know how you don't.
Yeah. Regardless, this whole situation is an absolute dumpster fire. And I don't envy, Aaron Glenn's position right now because I'm sure he's getting heat from up top. If he's saying it to the media, who knows what's going on behind closed doors?
Yeah,
It's
I
pretty
mean,
insane. So
I think
I feel
that
for him.
I'm guessing Glenn stays another year. I'm just trying to think of New York as a whole, right? Like both those teams, like this,
Hmm.
it's incredible how shitty both those teams are right now. Just
Yeah.
front offices and just personnel moves and everything. It's crazy. And everybody always
Well,
wants to talk
Dabble
about
saved his job.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Everybody wants to talk about he's actually a pretty good coach. He just doesn't have the talent and all this stuff. You think that he's going to come back another year because of what he did? Because he's got Dart and Cam as a
Yeah.
thing. I mean,
Yeah, Malik Neighbors. These are superstar players you build a team around. And obviously,
but the
Penn
team
State,
is still there.
Carter is playing phenomenal.
What does
Thibodeau's
Dabble have
playing
to
the
do with
best of
it?
his career. Dabble has nothing to do with it, in my opinion. He
Right.
has nothing to do with it. And I
That's why like
think,
someone
mhm,
was trying to make the argument the other day about there's been talks about Crosby, like should they trade him? Could they get something for him? Stuff like that, right? It was just I think it was more of a hypothetical question. And it's like at the end of the day, who cares? Like
yeah,
you win in 3-4 games a year or 6, 7, whatever it is here in Las Vegas with the Raiders. Yeah,
yeah.
he's not that important. I'm
No,
not
I
saying
say
he's not
unload him.
good. He's just not
No,
that
he's excellent. Just unload him now. This is the moment, in my opinion, especially for that Raiders team. They need some help. They need some help on both sides of the ball. I would trade Crosby and get as many draft picks as you can. Going back to the Giants, I feel like they should get rid of Dabble. I think Dabble extended his shelf life for another, who knows, maybe this season, potentially next season.
I
Because
don't think
depending on
he's
how
there.
well Dart does, well, people remember Dabble went to New York, this might be edited. Honestly, I might take all this out, but this is a fun conversation to me. I enjoy this shit. Dabble was brought to New York, just for a little history, to kind of revive Daniel Jones. They think he's the quarterback whisperer. They think he
Yeah,
did this with Josh Allen.
he did well.
In reality,
Look at Daniel Jones now. Great.
right? Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like he's not that
yeah.
guy.
In
So
reality,
why keep him?
yes. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I don't know why he's still there now. Even I would have gotten rid of him already. I would have gotten rid of him after when they made the move to get Russell Wilson out of there. They should have dropped Dabble then and just started Jackson Dart with a rookie coach.
Or
I'm
put
not
him in
kidding.
a front office job. If you think that
Yeah,
he
right.
can draft so well and everything like that, great. Then put him in a
Yeah.
front office job. Because I mean, he did, right? He went and got neighbors,
Mhm.
all these guys. That's something to be said for that. But you just can't fucking coach him. That's
No,
it.
no, you can't.
So
Yes, the Packers are looking pretty freaking complete. Jordan Love had his best statistical game of his career as well. 360 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, they look good, man. They look very good. I think the only thing hurting them right now is Josh Jacobs' health. I think when he gets fully healthy again, they got a great team. I'm very impressed. And the different guys popping up out of the woodwork. The only solid fantasy starter there right now, outside of Jordan Love as a, situational start, you have Tucker Kraft, who just looks phenomenal as a tight end. What do you
see a
think of
little bit
them?
more consistency out of Love. Like I don't disagree with you. I think the
Hmm.
Packers could be really, really good, but like I just year in and year out, it seems like it's the same story with Love. Love will look like the greatest player in the NFL one week, and then the next week it's like you forgot how to play football. And
Yeah.
you need all those weeks in a row where like, oh no, he is the man. You're right about Jacobs though. Like he doesn't look right out
No, he's
there.
not right. It's
Yeah,
obvious. He looked so much. The burst isn't there right now,
yeah.
and it was there in the beginning of the season. I got him on 2 teams, so I'm watching every one of his carries, and it's not there right now. He was questionable going into every game, but he always plays. He plays pretty well. Everybody knows what he did in Oakland at the time and then Las Vegas, but he's a hell of a running back. I really like that Packers team. We've liked them since the beginning, you and I both. We thought they were a strong team. And now they got Christian Watson back. They got a few other guys to just muddy up the water even more with those wide receivers. Who the hell is their number one? Who knows? But
It looked like
Tucker Kraft
Kraft the
sure as
other
shit.
night, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Tucker Kraft sure as shit. Their number one wide receiver now. We're going to talk about the Denver Broncos. They look good again. Their star defender, Patrick Surtain II, he's gone. He's going to be missing 4 to 6 weeks. That is huge. That man is a shutdown quarter, and it's a shame, honestly. And plus, we got to mention Sauce Gardner last week. We didn't mention that, but he's out as well for the Jets. So you have 2 premier, cornerbacks in the NFL. We got Patrick Surtain and Sauce Gardner both missing time. So
Both teams won.
it's what's that?
Both teams won as well.
I know. How about it? It's crazy. And Bo Nix, it could mainly be because of Bo Nix. I mean, he had a hell of a game again. This is crazy. The first quarterback since Peyton Manning to account for 4 touchdowns in back-to-back games. That's obviously pretty big for the Denver Broncos. They got to be excited about that. They haven't had a quarterback in years doing something like this. I like Bo Nix. I've told you this. He's in the right system. And if he continues on not making stupid plays and making some small things with his legs happen, he's going to be fine. I know you're not a big Bo Nix fan.
You're giving the guy a lot of credit for how terrible the Cowboys defense is.
They're very bad. I'll give you that. I actually can't. I agree with that. And then Eagles, in my opinion, this was the game every Eagles fan needed to see. Saquon Barkley went off. We talked about this with Kamani Vidal with the Chargers. Stick with the run game. Stick with the run game. And then you have the play action. Then you have other plays that open up. And Eagles haven't had that. It's weird. You say that with somebody like Saquon Barkley as your running back. But the offensive line has not played well. This last game was their most complete game. They opened holes for them. Saquon went off. You got 150 yards on the ground. And on top of it, our backup Tank Bigsby, which the Eagles threw a 5th-round pick for, thinking he could be our kick returner. He's not, but he finally came through 100 yards. Really fun to see that. Last time the Eagles did that, I think it was like, I think they said LaShawn McCoy and somebody else. Or who was the other one? It's going
That's
to
when they
bother
were
me.
winning Super Bowls, right? With
I
Andy Reid.
hate you. We did not win the Super Bowl with Andy Reid. Sean McCoy, much more recent, obviously, probably 2009, 2010, 11 or 12. I should know this shit.
Maybe not having the pressure of A.J. Brown being on the field was what really helped the offense for the Eagles this week.
That whole situation is insane. He's went and deleted all of his negative tweets, apparently. Like, I don't know what's happening.
It's like, because no one definitely no one's ever screenshotted anything that he said that they could just bring up later.
Everything on the internet you delete, Dan, is gone forever. You know that, right?
Nobody can understand these people who like go out and delete shit, because it's like, every time you make any tweet from here on out, someone's posting that in their comments, regardless of what you said.
And exactly. And the same thing with you guys. We expect nothing less from our viewers and our listeners. If Dan and I call something and we're way off, call our asses out on that.
Yeah, I don't know why I haven't seen more Justin Fields shit, but
I'm shocked, actually. I got a lot of texts about it. I did not get any comments. Please, you can troll us. It's okay. I deserve it for Justin Fields. I was way off on that one. Do you want to recap the bets, or what do you want to do here?
Like I said, I only hit the over in the Browns game, and then lost on the Browns, and then lost on, I believe, the Giants. So that's the game I was really high on, and ended up losing that. But you had a good week, right?
Yeah, I had a very good week. Yeah, our picks of the week one even had a crazy prop that I loved. It hit as well, and that was at plus 230.
Mims, right?
Yeah, Marvin Mims, exactly. We'll just go through them real quick. Riley Patterson, Dolphins kicker, over 6.5 point, that hit early. Browns Patriots, we went over Kayshon Boutte. This was my pick of the week, over 2.5 catches, and that was at plus money too. I win Theo Johnson. I love this bet, 3.5 catches. Over that, he had 4. Ondell Robinson, that son of a bitch. See, guy that screwed me. I needed him to get over 51.5 yards. He ended up getting 48 on the day, so we lost that one by a few yards. That one crushed my soul. Woody Marks, this was our other big one of the week. I told you guys to press this one. Over 1.5 catches at plus 110. That was an easy win as well. He had 4 or 5 on the day. Isaiah Likely, that was over 2.5 catches at plus 115. I don't remember if that hit. I need to look that one up, actually, but I think it did. I know that Lamar was not back, and when I placed that bet, it was in anticipation that Lamar was coming back. So that one, I don't know it hit. It might have. I know he had 2 for sure, but we'll look into that one. You'll hear that again, too, because we're doing the same damn bet this week because Lamar is back. Nick Folk, over 5.5 points at minus 120. We did buy that one. And Noah Fant, the Bengals tight end, over 2.5 catches at minus 165. We bought that one and won. So we're winning the ones we're buying and everything. Jalen Coker, he's back. We bet over 2.5 catches. He had 3, just made it, but we'll take it. Tet McMillan, our lock of the week every damn week, over 4.5 catches, easy money. He had 7. And then Marvin Mims, this was our crazy bet, over 50 yards. It didn't make any sense that the books had it this way, but they had it at plus 230. And if you guys listen to the show, you know we're very high on Marvin Mims and his route running ability. He hit it with no problem. I think he had over 100 yards receiving or something along those lines. So pretty crazy. The other loss I had was Gunnar Helm. I said this is his big week. People are going to know his name, etc. Maybe you heard of him now, probably not. He needed over 2.5 catches. He got 2. Did get a touchdown, a big touchdown for those measly Titans that game. But it was an interesting week, very, very profitable week. If you follow me on Pickett, I do apologize. My wife and I made these together, so we went through her account. It is the same money, but her account.
So the likely bet did lose. He got 2 catches.
Did he? Okay. Thanks a lot, Likely. So you stopped at, I saw you had 2 and you stopped. You're dead to
You're
me.
just over it. Yep.
For another 5 minutes, and we'll bet on you again, like I'm going to. Yeah, and that kind of leads into this week, in one of which was Lamar's back, our Thursday night game. Let's talk about it, Dan. What's going on? Who's playing? What's the line? What are you thinking?
Ravens going to Miami to play the Dolphins. So Ravens are going to be 7.5-point favorites. The over-under here is like 50.5 or 51 right now is what I'm seeing.
Mhm.
So anticipating a lot of points. I'm kind of curious on what you think offensively what's going to happen here, because I'm not as sold that Lamar is going to come back and just be running all over the field. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a little bit of rust and take a quarter or so to get up and going again.
No, I 100% agree with that. We'll see if the rust is there. I can anticipate them doing some, check down throws. I wanted to do Justice Hill potentially, but I never know which one's going to be in Keaton Mitchell or Justice Hill as that third down back. So I stayed away from that. But I do agree with you. I think Lamar's going to have to get in a groove, and that's why we bet this bet. We bet Isaiah Likely again over 2.5 catches at plus 110. I love the value there. When Lamar's in, everybody knows this. He targets his tight ends over 30% of the time. So he's looking at Mark Andrews. He's looking for Isaiah Likely all the time. Those intermediate throws that he can make so beautifully up the middle. And Isaiah Likely is going to be that guy where they can do those little 5-yard routes, get the ball to Likely and let him get some yards after the catch. That's what he's good at. And that's going to get Lamar in his kind of his groove. So I really like that one. I did want to comment, though. Dan made a funny comment earlier about Lamar potentially being back until he's not. John Harbaugh came out and definitely apologized for clearing Lamar at one point last week and then adding him to the injury list. If you had him in your leagues, hopefully you caught that change happened. I think it happened late Saturday or early Sunday, but it was super shady. It was definitely John Harbaugh and his team of coaches coming together and saying, let's screw with the other team we're playing this week, because what needs to happen is their scout team is going to have their fastest guy at quarterback, and that's going to screw up their whole strategy this week for defense. And they did that. They probably ran these guys to the ground. And in the end, Snoop Hunley got the win.
What about 14, right?
14, yeah, I think
14,
so.
yeah, 30,
Yeah.
30 to 16. Yeah.
So you got to go. Yeah. I mean, I
Caleb
think a
did
lot of
that
that has to do with the scheming. You got a team like Chicago that's playing well. The defense been okay. The fact that the Ravens were able to win as handily as they did with Snoop Hunley is just, I think it's a testament to Harbaugh being strategic and telling him that Lamar was playing until he wasn't. I don't know. What, am I crazy?
Yeah.
Or what do you think?
Did we think that Huntley was going to play too?
It was going to be Hunley when they brought him back. Cooper Rush was so bad.
Yeah, no,
He
I
was
agree.
so
He
bad
looked
for
terrible.
them.
I was shocked
Yeah.
how bad he was, actually. I really thought that was just going to be he'd be able to hang in there, maybe win a game or two while he was out, but he looked terrible.
He looked serviceable in that small amount of time he got in Dallas, where
He
it was
played
like,
like
"Ah,
6,
this guy
7
can,
games.
he
I
can
mean,
sling it a little bit."
people
He did. Yeah.
don't really remember, but like the Cowboys, they weren't out of the playoffs until like that final week last year. They needed a miracle, and it didn't happen. But like they were still kind of in the hunt at the end.
Cooper Rush did a good job keeping him in it. So shocking to see how shitty he is. I agree. Speaking of shitty quarterbacks, I'm going to bet one this week. We're betting Tua over 1.5 touchdowns at plus 115. I'm going to be using one of those apps. I'm not going to say which one, but some of them back your bet up if your prop bet gets hurt the first half. Even if I have to pay minus 110 on this, I will. Because I don't trust betting props on Tua only because of his injury history, but over 1.5 touchdowns at plus 115, the value is shouting at me to bet it, because 51.5 is the line or something like that. Obviously, the books think there's going to be a lot of scoring involved. Ravens are winning by 7.5, but you're telling me that, what does that put us at? 21 points maybe for Tua and the Dolphins then? I mean, that makes sense for 7.5 points. Or even 22, 23.
29,
I mean, come
21,
on.
right? Yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. So I really think that you're telling me he's not going to get 1.5 touchdowns is insane to me, because 2 of them are probably going to come from Devon Achane. They just throw him the ball a little behind the arc of scrimmage and just go run for your life.
So last
you
week,
know?
everybody was talking about the Falcons' defense and stuff like that, right? And I loved the Falcons last week too. That was my favorite
Yeah.
bet of the week, and
Yeah.
the Dolphins just embarrassed them, right? And then
They
maybe a
did.
little bit had to do with Cousins playing and whatnot, but still, that Miami offense hasn't looked that great, and they look pretty serviceable. So I just think this whole game is weird. Like
Mhm.
7.5 feels like
It's a lot of
that
points.
should definitely take the Dolphins, and I
Mhm.
kinda like the under, but, I mean, I don't know. I
It
don't
makes you
know.
wonder if Huntley was playing and not Lamar, would this be what would
4?
the line be? Yeah,
4?
4, 3?
3
It's gotta
maybe?
be. Yeah, I'm serious. Yeah, I think that the Lamar is that much of a game changer that's how dramatic that changes. You know they're playing desperate. You know, obviously every game for and then
Yeah.
the Ravens came out too and said every game's a must win. So they're in the same boat. They see what they're up against. Both teams is kind of a big win, a big game for both teams, honestly, because it kind of determines their fate for the rest of the season, in my opinion. I really think it's late enough in the season where this win can really change the trajectory.
Yeah, I mean, more at stake for the Ravens because that division is so bad right now. So they win another game, then they're right back in the probably the division hunt because who knows what's gonna happen with Pittsburgh. Dolphins not as, good for them because they gotta worry about Buffalo, and Buffalo's probably gonna win 11, 12 games anyways.
Yeah, they look pretty damn good. The Bills are coming along pretty nicely. Yeah, they destroyed the Panthers. And like we
Maybe
talked
they
about the
got an
ginger,
extra 7 points or something, but that's about
Andy Dalton, by the way, sacked 7 times, threw a pick. I mean, that's just it was a rough game. I don't know if I every play that I saw, I cringed. He still got us all over overs, you know, with when returns in terms of Coker and McMillan. So I was happy with that. Another update too. I just want to kind of get into because I don't have much else about this Thursday night game. I really don't know what else to say except for those 2 props I like. I might do some more. Pay attention. We'll put them up on our X, but I mean, I don't have much else to say about this game. I get a few more things to say about last week, but that's about it. You got anything else to
no,
go
I
with
don't
this
really have
game?
anything else either.
Yeah,
Like
not
I
a
said, I'm
riveting show today. I'm sorry, folks. A lot of updates, a lot of recaps. Eagles got away with some trash calls. I'm a Philadelphia fan. Obviously, I like speaking to my family. I can never turn against my team because my family would turn against me. It's just our religion out here. So the reality situation is that as a football fan, as an NFL fan, those non-calls bothered the shit out of me, but as an
yeah.
Eagles fan, I was ecstatic. There was
Well,
100% a fumble on that tush push and
yeah.
100% a bullshit offensive pass interference call.
I know, like, them voting on it, right, over the offseason, whether they wanted to do it or not and blah, blah, blah. I think the bigger picture now is just, like, we're seeing more video evidence, and the video is getting better and better and better, sharper and sharper. You're seeing false starts that the referees can't see or aren't seeing. The whole stretching for a first down, but they're saying that was forward progress, and
There was no
but it clearly
whistle. Yeah, it
wasn't,
was
right?
not. There was
Yeah.
no whistle on that
I
play
I
until the
think
ball was on the ground. I was
I
like,
think the Eagles are gonna end up losing this play essentially just
"Oh, they
because
are. It's going
it
after the
can't be
season."
officiated,
Mhm.
and they've gotten to a point where yeah, like,
You
I
got
don't
idiots like the Vikings literally just laying on the ground. Like I mean, what are you doing? That's
people
the
just didn't know what they were even looking at first, and now we
Yeah,
kinda know what we're looking at, and now we're seeing all these other things, like your interior linemen are moving way before the ball's even being snapped and shit like
definitely.
that, right? And but
Yeah.
it's all being covered up because the defense is so close to the line as well, so it's
Yep.
insane. But,
It
you
is
know,
insane.
it's a good run you guys had.
It was, and I love the bet. I still love the play. I mean, it's a great play, and it works for us. We run it well. I just needed to comment because I know some of the listeners, the fan base here, you guys know me. Some of you personally know me. You know that the Eagles are my religion, but that was bullshit. That really, as a football fan, that was not cool. That was not cool at all from a football standpoint. From an Eagles standpoint, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Especially when some of those plays were like game-changing plays, like that first down where he's reaching, that would have swayed the whole
Yep.
game.
Yep.
Giants get the ball in their own, I think it was, we were on their 40. They would have had the
Probably doesn't
ball.
break his ankle either
Yeah.
because 'cause they're not
Doesn't
rushing.
break his ankle. Yeah. Trying to play from behind, doing crazy shit. That offensive pass interference, another one that should have been a touchdown. And
I
that
didn't
was,
hate that one as bad, though.
well,
Like, you know what I
Quinyon
mean?
Mitchell
That
too. It
other
should have
one
been,
the
yeah.
other one bothered me way more than that no offensive.
I'm glad that we keep talking about Quinyon Mitchell too, because and folks, Quinyon Mitchell is a premier defensive back for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's very good. He really is. He put up great numbers last year. He was in the mix for defensive rookie of the year. Tom Brady called out early this year, and by the way, I love Tom Brady at the booth. It's neat to hear the shit that's inside of his brain
Yeah, I don't know why he
sometimes.
got such a bad rap last year. Like, you can't
I
just
don't
expect
understand it.
someone to go in there and be able to figure it out day one. But like, he's
Right.
fine.
He's doing great. And to hear these insights, what a quarterback should be looking for, what a quarterback should be doing, I love this shit. And if anybody says it's stupid, how often do you get a master class from the greatest of the
Yeah,
position
it's
of
like
all
Michael
time?
Jordan doing
Yeah. Those,
color,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
For the
We can talk
NBA.
about that. Yeah,
It's
we
like,
can talk about
come on.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's insane. What do you just shut up and listen? That's all you should do. He's earned the right. You should sit down and listen. But what he pointed out a couple games ago, actually early in the season, it might have been our first game of the year, is that Quinion Mitchell has been playing lazy. He played more aggressive last year. It feels like this season he almost has lost a step. You see him grabbing those receivers' shirts. He's grabbing at whatever he can to slow them down so he can keep up with them. And I think defenses are trying to exploit him. And that's what happened that play. He got beat. That's exactly what happened. A little bit of contact, but I mean, it was all, in the middle of a play contact. It wasn't any bullshit about it. So that whole game, we'll take it. The Eagles needed that. They needed that for their psyche. The offensive line looked good for once. I was very excited about that. Are the Eagles in the top 3 of the NFC now, or what do you think after that
Yeah, I mean, I think they're
performance?
2, 1, 2. I think
Yeah,
they're probably 1, to be honest with you. I mean, the Lions are pretty good
Lions are
if
great.
they're if Lions
Lions are
are good
good,
if
and the
they're at home,
Packers are
right?
good. Yeah.
If Lions are at home, I'd probably take them over anybody. But
hmm
if I had to pick one team neutral field, I'd probably take the Eagles right now.
You got Hurts, man. He's got that dog in him. He really does. He's a winner, Dan. No matter what you say, look at it. Look at the stats, man. They
I
don't
watched
lie.
him
He's
I
a
watched him
winner.
I watched him win the national championship at Alabama.
Yeah, sitting on the bench. Yes.
Just getting
We
pulled, right?
both bet that game too. We both bet
Mm.
that game. It was great. I think you told me to bet in game too at halftime. I did not. That was on we can say that app. There's the only one in town in Vegas was William Hill. God damn, that was a shitty app. I don't know what it's doing these days, but then it was bad. All right, we can close this. I can take that out. Unless William Hill, you want to call and sponsor me before this episode's released, I will keep in how wonderful your app was.
Caesars
but-
is not sponsoring us, so.
No, Caesars, they don't give anybody money. We know that personally. So let's call him, man. You got anything else to shout out or anything?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the 2 bets that I have. I might sprinkle something. Like I said, I really need to see the running back situation. Maybe, I don't know. It's probably Keaton Mitchell showed up last week, which everybody
Henry
had
played
high
all right.
hopes
They
for.
gave him ball 21 times last week, too.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, Henry looked good. He looked very good. And honestly, every week it seems like there's always like a over 1.5 catches with Henry. And he was hitting that a couple times last year. So this might be the game to do that too. Because obviously our boy Lamar is going to be settled in. I didn't look at Zay Flower bets, but he obviously he's a good receiver. He's going to be like over 5.5 catches. And to me, that's not worth the squeeze. Yeah. I don't want to do that. So yeah, man, that's it. Follow us on Twitter, please. BShells13. Dan's D Ambrose 04. Yeah, we appreciate you guys here. We're gonna have another one for Sunday.
A couple days. We'll be back in a couple days.
We'll talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Yo, my raps vaulted, here my memory banks that never be released. Box cut inside the apple, you're in for a treat. Paper cuts in a vicious way, running back, dead, give away the handoff.